Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Super Skrull Build-A-Figure Wave Hulk. This is She-Hulk. Are we doing that thing now? Is She-Hulk now? Though given Hulk at the end of Infinity War, I could see why they would just go ahead and make him She-Hulk permanently and that'd be that. But is She-Hulk just plain old Hulk now? Is that a thing? I haven't heard this. Is it not called She-Hulk anymore? Is that too pejorative, apparently? That's irritating to me if that's the case. Because She-Hulk, I like She-Hulk. I don't like her to be called Hulk because Hulk is Hulk. Please tell me that's not a thing. Alright, let's go ahead and get the figure off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 18.5 centimeters, which makes it pretty close to 7.25 inches. And so if you're curious about the height comparison, here's Gambit, here's She-Hulk. I'm calling her She-Hulk. I don't care what anybody says. And so she is biggin. She's a biggin. And she's actually the first female in like forever that's actually sculpted to look like a female. She has female-shaped hips and thighs and everything else. And I like it. Not in a pervy way, but also in a pervy way. Real quick, while I have Gambit here, this sale is going up on the 1st, starting January 1st. His sale will be active. It'll go for 2 weeks. Check that out if you're interested. Okay, on to She-Hulk. This figure is gorgeous in so many ways, and not because it's a female, because it's really well done. In so many ways, except for one which makes me want to punch things. This is ridiculous. How is this happening, Hasbro? The arms are on the wrong sides. The forearms, not the upper arms, although we'll get to that. Just like on the 80-year Iron Man, his biceps were on the wrong sides, but they actually had the right lettering on them and they were pegged that way. So somewhere along the line, somebody put the arms on the wrong sides and screwed it up. It wasn't just a one-off like they just swapped them in the factory. They swapped them in the design. Same thing is true for her forearms. This one has an L on it, this one has an R on it, so that's the way they intended it, but they are sculpted the wrong way. Luckily, you should be able to just pop them out at the elbow joint, because that's just a straight peg that goes into the bicep, and swap them. That should be fine. But they are 100% sculpted, though the sculpt on this figure is really weird for the arms in that none of it's actually accurate. And this is probably where somebody got confused. Like, this doesn't look like the inside or the outside of a forearm. This doesn't look like the inside or the outside of a forearm, but it's closer to the outside, and this one's closer to the inside. And if you actually swap the hands, you'll see that these arms are definitely on the wrong spots. So all you have to do is hit it with a hairdryer or dunk it in some not boiling water, but hot or warm water. Pull this part out on both sides. Just swap them, peg them back in, swap the hands, you'll be good to go. So that's really irritating, I know, but it's a thing. And most people wouldn't even notice it because, like I said, it's just so oddly sculpted that you can't quite tell. But here's the other thing on this one. They did the same thing with the biceps in that the sculpt is either part could go on either side. I think this one's accurate. This one's right as far as if I had to pick one. This looks more like the outside of the bicep, and this looks more like the inside of the bicep, but it's definitely on mine anyway. I got the same part for both arms. So they painted it properly, because I'm guessing the paint happened secondary, but I have this part is here and here, exact same part. So that's irritating. I ordered another one. Hopefully that's not the case. If it is, then that's just nuts. But this is definitely going to be across the board because the letters are in there. So that's really, really irritating, especially for a figure like this where they spent so much effort on it. They clearly tried, and it shows. Like, it's really good. Really good otherwise. Look at that. The jeans are so cleanly painted. So nicely done. The little bits of green that are on there just pop so well. They're nice and clean. They're not fuzzy. It's really, really good. They made her shirt a separate piece, so that is perfectly clean. There's no issue with paint at all because of it being a separate piece. It's so nice. The hair, really nice green shading all the way throughout, like a dry brush style, which is how Polaris should have been done. Excellent. The face, sculpted with a little bit of style and then painted appropriately. So well executed. It's lovely. It's so nice that we're getting figures like this. And we got this one and Doctor Doom in the same batch. It can be done. Like, this isn't an incredibly expensive figure to make. Yeah, it has a lot of new parts, I get it, but they're going to reuse a lot of these parts anyway. And it doesn't have a ton of paint. It just has the paint where it needs to go. And that's all it takes to look great. For a $20 figure, this is great. This is exceptional for a $20 figure. That's my point. Doesn't take that much. How they keep doing the arms backwards is beyond me. Is nobody checking it? Does somebody not know what forearms look like? And they're like, just, okay, looks good. They're there. Whatever. Drives me nuts. Either way, that's an issue. I'm guessing the bicep thing is just for mine because I have bad luck. But otherwise, aesthetically, this figure is phenomenal. I really like it. So I'll give it a 9. Yes, I'll give it a 9. Because even the forearm thing, for most people, you're not even going to notice it. So aesthetically, I'll let it slide. But that is definitely annoying. Okay, as far as accessories go, we have 2 fists and 2 open hands. 5 out of 10. That's okay. I mean, that's all she probably really needs, but still, it's not much, so 5 out of 10. All right, for the articulation, the head is on a ball peg, on a hinge, and the hinge actually moves. A lot of these figures this wave have been super tight, very hard to move, but that's good. Look at that, by the way. There's no lollipop syndrome. You can still give the head a little bit of attitude. Side to side. Of course it rotates. Of course it looks forward and back. You don't need a lollipop to do it. So nice. Love it. Shoulders. This one was super stiff, but I was able to free it up, and now it works. So you can go at least horizontal. I feel like it'll go farther if you give it a little bit of effort, but at least horizontal. Full rotation. It does bother me that on the shirt, though, I just noticed this. I didn't realize it before. They do have a couple of spots where it looks like they were supposed to put in gray paint, and they didn't. Not a huge deal breaker. I don't think it would change my score, but little spots that I think they just didn't want to actually make holes. They didn't fill in with paint. Easy enough to do yourself, because I don't think it would change the score anyway. And if you just wanted to, you could, but it's not something you really have to do. So you do get a bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, better than 90 degrees, so I think that's okay. And you do get another swivel down there if you want it. Elbow joint is terribly ugly because they sculpted it to fit the arm when it's like that. So when you do this, you end up with a tumor. I don't personally care for that. I'd rather there be a little bit of a gap when it's perfectly straight, just a gap in the joint part, so that when you bend it, you don't get a tumor. But that's not a huge deal. Wrists, swivel, and hinge. Of course, we do have a diaphragm joint, which, let's see how, whoa, yes, look at that. A good diaphragm joint is such a good joint to use, though it doesn't go very far forward. Why'd they make it go back so far? I don't know. I guess for like a Hulk punch, like he's diving, or she, I don't know, is diving to punch somebody. Like you could do that kind of pose with it going back, so that's good. But it goes to the side and back exceptionally well. Look at that. It just doesn't lean forward very far. So it's a little bit limited, but you get exceptional range, and it's still a really good joint. So that's nice. They're really close to nailing that joint. That's awesome. Legs go pretty far out to the side, not too much farther than 45. And they also have to go a little bit forward because she's got some cakes, and they do block her hips a little bit. So that's okay, I guess. Going forward, you get about horizontal. Going back, you get none because, again, her gams are in the way. But I think that's okay. I think everybody could use a little bit more gams in their life on their action figures. Thigh swivels work just fine. Double jointed knees are okay. Feet, the joints were super stiff when I got it, but I was able to free them up, so that's fine. They go all the way back and all the way forward, and you get a really solid ankle rocker. So this is a figure that is just short of being exceptionally awesome. If it wasn't for the forearms, I would give this like a 9.5. It is almost exactly what it should be. Wait, did I rate the articulation? I didn't. Okay, 8. All right, on to the final verdict. Like I said, it's very close to being as good a figure as Hasbro is going to make at $20. But having the arms purposely put on the wrong side, I mean, not purposely originally, but it's not just an error in the manufacturing, it's an error in the production. So that does bug me a little bit. I'm still going to give it an 8. This is a really good release from Hasbro. I'm so pleased with it. And it just makes those really, really shitty She-Hulk figures from before look even shittier. So I like it. I think you guys will too. So definitely pick this one up. The jeans are textured, by the way. I didn't mention it because I figured you could see, but they are very nicely done. And there's her butt again because she has a big butt. In the best way possible. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, too bad, and you already watched it, so I don't care. And if you haven't subscribed, you probably should, because I have new videos up just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.